Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say, it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breasts, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenally.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Like Water for Chocolate. This is Lex Love, and of course with me is Truth.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing today?
I'm so exhausted.
I know you are.
I'm so tired.
This is one of those days where I wish our camera was set up, but I understand why it's not set up today.
Yes,
because we
y'all
look
don't
like
need
zombies.
to see this. But it is for a good reason. We had to go out and support, if you guys listen to the show, Mr. Mario Whitaker. Who does the Vice Unplugged events. He had one last night, All Things Creative. That's exactly what his scene was.
It was.
Oh my gosh, it was, the vibe in there was absolutely amazing.
Right, it was music.
The music, the art that was there from the painters, the artists that performed,
Yeah.
And they actually had wine in a glass, you guys.
Good
not
wine.
in a plastic cup.
Good wine that made me feel a little loopy at the end of the night.
Oh my goodness. I had some good sleep.
I did
which
too.
Which is probably why I'm feeling this way right now.
I think you're right. You need to drink lots and lots of water today.
Absolutely. That's my plan.
Yeah, but it
water
was fun.
and naps.
And I think they have more events coming up, no?
Yeah, he's definitely going to have more. I think he does his Vice, if I'm not mistaken. I think he does it monthly.
Oh, that's cool. That might be a regular thing.
We'll definitely keep you guys updated on our pages so you guys can go out and support him. So shout out to Mario. Definitely dope event. We had a great time. Thanks for inviting us out.
Of course.
How was your week?
My week was cool. You know, a lot of drama at work, of course, always. It's getting worse. So I'm definitely checked out. If you know what I'm saying. Like, it's over.
I completely understand.
Yeah, that 9 to 5 stuff is not cool. And I'm going to be there for more hours now because my hours change next week. But other than work, it's been okay. Yeah. How about your week?
My week it ran together, but I quit my job Monday.
Nice.
And so I got to have some time off.
Right.
And I rested, but I'm starting to feel now it wasn't enough rest. I thought that by resting a little bit, that means I can go harder. I'm paying for it today, you guys. I am absolutely exhausted, but it's a good exhaustion because I got a lot of things accomplished, and
it feels worth it.
It does. It absolutely does. When you're building a brand and you're trying to become your own boss, there's really no sleep.
Right.
So what Whitney needs to do is for real go back to the gym. So I need encouragement, y'all. Because I know that when you work out, you get more energy and you're able to sleep for 6 hours and literally be able to go all day and not have like a true burnout.
I hear you.
And eating better.
Yes.
And we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. So we are definitely going to start this journey, and I think we're going to have you guys be our journal.
Yes.
So we can actually have you all hold us accountable of what we are. We'll do check-ins
and maybe get some motivation too.
Yeah,
on their
absolutely.
Ends. Yeah.
And so, I think we can make this thing work because it's absolutely time.
It's necessary.
Me and Lex were talking about how can we be, on the verge of being out there. Pictures are going to be taken, and we don't even like ourselves in front of a camera right now. Right. So it's up to us to get camera ready.
Right. And I mean, not even just all that. And it's just about feeling good, like you said.
Yes.
Getting the necessary sleep and just the energy that we both should have at 30 years old.
Exactly.
But we have kids and other things that's making us feel a little ragged sometimes. So we need to definitely step that part up.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
So with today, we are talking about a topic that was pretty much on Lex's heart. It's something that was brought up in a conversation with her and her family, and we decided to go ahead and make a show out of it. So I'll let Lex go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, it's basically the conversation I had was about religion and how it plays into your life, how much of it runs what you do in your daily lives. How you were raised, does it change when you get older? Or do you find that some things don't make sense to you and now you're trying to find, your purpose? But I know with me, I wasn't raised in a particular religion. My parents pretty much left that be a decision that I made as I got older. They if I had questions, they answered them. My dad, I don't think he was raised that way either. And I think once he got older, he realized that being Muslim was for him. Now, he's what I call Muslim light because he doesn't get down and pray 5 times a day. And there's certain things that he does not do, but he definitely reads the Quran and that's what he wants to follow. My mom was raised Catholic and I have a huge problem with, Catholic religion, but she was raised that way. And I think as she got older, she realized a lot of that didn't make sense either. Like you're praying to Virgin Mary, you're praying to statues and things like that, which doesn't make any sense to me. But me, I'm more on a spiritual tip, I would say. Mm-hmm. Like I can relate to religions like the Buddhist and, things like that because it's more so of meditation, being one, love, things like that. I can't get down with getting together at a church and I don't know. That's just not for me. Like, what do you think?
So with me, I've kind of been all over. So growing up, we never were made to go to church.
Right.
That just wasn't something that was done in my household. So like, grandmama and them went to church for sure. Yeah. Mom grew up Catholic. My Oma was Catholic. My Opa, he never really had a religion or anything. He wasn't tied down to anything. Almost had no belief, if I can say that. It's changed as he's gotten older. Mm-hmm. But I started going to church. It was technically a non-denominational, pretty much Christian church. Okay. And I'm happy I did it because it did start a foundation of me believing in something greater than myself. Sure. And having an understanding of why it's so important to believe in something. I just, at that point, of course, Christian based. So, Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, all of this Bible based, you want to do right by what the Bible says. So we started there. I was heavy in the church. I mean, I was there like 4 days a week.
I remember.
So yeah, church was really big. And I realized that going to the church was more of for me, it seemed more politics than anything else. Especially as the church started to grow. Uh-huh. It started to be a lot of rules and a lot of dictatorship. Yeah. And I'm like, this is not why I was coming.
Did it seem like you were being judged at any point?
Oh, absolutely. I felt like I was judged the most at the church house. And I'm not discrediting anyone. I just, at that point, I had to leave and kind of figure things out on my own. So I have dabbled into reading about why people believe there is no God and that it's all science. Mm-hmm. I've read into the Buddhist and what they do, Hindu. Mm-hmm. What was the other one we came across? And it almost hit exactly what we believe in on the nail.
Baha'i.
Yes. Yeah. And so I just read them all, Muslim as well. I just wanted to read into them, dive into them, even talk to a couple of people that practice a few different things, even some of my people I associate with that are atheists. I just want to get kind of an understanding
of it all, right?
Why everyone believes what they believe. Because in my household, we don't force, like you mentioned, children, we don't force anything on our children except to believe that there's a higher being. Sure. There is definitely something greater than you and me. Mm-hmm. My daughter, she loved church. She still, I think if we were to go back to church, she'd be excited because she absolutely enjoyed it. And she sang in the choir and everything else like that. So we still pray. Uh-huh. We just don't put our God in a box, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So we are more accepting of why others believe what they believe. Sure. We're not going to judge them by it. Or how they say, oh, just pray for him because that's just the devil. I don't believe that.
Me neither.
Because I believe that all of these stories are so similar. Mm-hmm. They came from the same story.
They're all on a path to something that's bigger than them, no matter what that bigger thing is. Everybody's looking for something to believe in. Yeah.
Now, there are some to where their beliefs are a little extra for me. I can't really get down. However, I'm not going to knock you for having something that keeps you in line to make you feel like you need to be a better person.
Right.
If there is a belief that you have and it is keeping you to where you are knowing that you don't need to murder anyone, that you need to love on people, that you don't need to, as what we call sin or do these wrongdoings, and you're that better person in the world, because we live in a crazy world right now. So if you have something keeping you in line, I appreciate it and I respect it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question you about it
Right.
or any of that. And then I know that there was an outlook on people that are atheists and how they must be devil worshipers and all. They're truly not, you guys.
There's a
They're
complete
actually
difference between
exactly,
those two
and
things.
that's exactly. I had to break that down. Like devil worshiping and atheists is two different things. Atheists believe in nothing.
Nothing.
They don't believe in any of this Bible story. They just
they're
don't
more of
get
that,
down.
that Big Bang theory
Exactly.
type of thing, that it just all came to be. That doesn't mean that they're devil worshipers.
Exactly.
You know what I
and
mean?
so you guys, please stop calling them that, because I had a nice talk with someone that I worked with.
Who's an atheist?
Yes. And she is one of the greatest people I've ever met.
Right.
She still believes in being a good person.
Yeah.
She still believes in spreading love. She still believes in encouraging, uplifting, teaching her kids right from wrong. She just doesn't have a source that she prays to, so to speak, or believes is in control. Who am I to judge? That is her. However, she's not a bad person. So I'll never take that out on her. I think we emphasize too much on that. I think if somebody doesn't believe what we believe, they automatically got to be a bad person.
Yeah. There's over like 2,000 religions out there. I can think of maybe 10. So like all these other religions, I kind of want to start exploring a little bit. I'm not saying for myself to find one or anything, because I pretty much, at the end of the day, the Baha'i faith, like you said, is kind of where I'm rocking, just because it's believing in a higher purpose, but that entity does not have a name, and there's no face to it or anything. It's just more so of, it's there. You believe in it. It's whatever your God is, I guess you would say. But it's being a good person. It's like what you would think common sense is at the end of the day, but people need those rules, those set of rules to follow. So, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. As far as like, okay, you talked about your daughter, but what about Nemo? Like, what do you say to him?
Nemo is just kind of, and we don't have these talks. Like
He's not there yet?
You guys, no, Nemo loves church too.
Does he?
Nemo will say things like with my Oma who passed away.
Yeah.
He'll be like, well, Oma's with Jesus in heaven and she doesn't hurt anymore.
Oh.
Or Oma's happy.
Yeah.
So children are so innocent, but I think that they are the only ones that truly get to kind of see that realm.
They're still connected.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So with Nemo, he kind of keeps my belief alive because Nemo's many things. But Nemo will say something just out of the blue and it'll literally make you like,
it's
wait,
enlightening.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
So children are awesome. And
pay attention to them because they say wise things.
Absolutely. Because with Nemo absolutely believes that there is. I mean, we still pray at the dinner table when we're all having dinner as a family. My husband grew up in the church. He was a first lady's son. So he had to be at church all the time. Uh-huh. But he doesn't believe in the way churches ran. And he doesn't believe that his belief should be conformed to one book. Uh-huh. So that's where a lot of it comes. And so with our children, like your parents did with you, we're going to let them find their own path. And I'm not going to ever make them feel guilty for feeling. If Gianni decides she wants to wholeheartedly go to a Christian church and work that out, and that is, as long as you are doing the best you can do, and that if that's what's for you, let it be that. Yeah. I just don't want to force them into a religion because we're more spiritual than religious. Yeah. And I see a lot of people judging. What do you mean you're spiritual and you're not religious? And, God's people and God's people. Who says, who told you that you are this is the only type of people that are gonna, as so to speak, enter into heaven. And I know where this topic is really heavy, and we may have some people kind of drawn by what we're talking about.
Sure.
But I just want you guys to know that who we are, number one.
Yes.
And then also that we don't judge.
No.
But I don't want it to be to where because you don't follow a certain thing that you absolutely are a bad person, or because you don't believe in the Bible that you are absolutely a bad person. I feel like the Bible is a great starting point.
It's a tool
to the
it's
truth.
A part of it.
I don't feel that no one will ever know the full truth.
I 100% agree
Our
with
minds could not even handle the full truth. We are not programmed to understand the truth. I feel like we are given just enough that we can handle.
Yes.
And I'm not okay with that, which is why I try to keep searching. However, I do always keep coming back to the main source, which is the Bible. I just believe that there is more to it. So no matter what, I've dibbled and dabbled in all kinds of things. However, where I do come from, or where I always come back to, is certain stories of the Bible.
Right.
However, I know that there's more. There's a lot more, because a lot of things just don't make sense.
So when you say a lot more, are you talking about maybe like the bad side of what is in there too?
When I say a lot more, I mean, I think that these were just selected stories of people's encounters with the Most High. I think that there are a lot of things left out.
Detailed about his life? You would
no,
say?
more so, and I don't even say his or her. That's why I just say the Most High, because to me, the Bible is a collection of stories.
Yeah.
Of other people's encounters with their God. They're just the stories that happen to be written about. However, consider the source of who wrote it and when it was written.
Exactly.
However, what happened before these stories were written?
Right.
Why aren't the Egyptians mentioned really in the Bible? Now, we're supposed to also have dinosaurs at one point in time, right?
Yes.
They're also not in the stories. There's also, to me, a question of what was on earth before us, or was it a desolate place? Also, there's other planets.
Yeah.
So the Most High, is that just of our realm of Earth, or is it of the entire universe? What is the Most High of Saturn, or, Venus, or just other realms? It's like, I feel like people are so afraid to question these things because they automatically think that you are not giving credit to a supreme being.
Sure.
But no, you're just saying my supreme being, I don't believe is in a box. So I want to ask questions. I want to know more. I want to study more. I want to have a better understanding. And that also increases your relationship. So I can't even put a name on what I am or what I believe in.
You're right.
There's
You're
no
right.
name.
And now that when you
no
say
name.
that, I see why there are certain scientists that get shamed, because you know how they say you're not supposed to mix science with religion because it gets fuzzy. And then there's the ones that try to do it, and then they like discredit all of what they're trying to research, and they don't put funds and money into it, because there's those ones who say, no, I found life over here.
Yep.
If there's a plant or something that sparks,
there's life.
There's life there.
Yep.
And they don't want to research it. So it definitely goes beyond what you're saying, like with Saturn and, being more. There's definitely a lot more.
And I just don't understand why people are so afraid to embrace the fact that there is more. No one is discrediting your Bible,
the
story.
Bible, right.
And that we absolutely should take this as, to me, like I said, it is absolutely a base starting point.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't feel that you should take this and this is it. And there's a lot of people that are probably going to be very upset when they listen to this, and that's fine.
That's okay.
I'm still going to let you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I know that there are a lot of people that think these things and they don't talk about it.
They don't talk about it.
Because they feel that they will be shamed, or they will be condemned, or And we should be beyond that point, you guys.
I agree.
Like, this world alone is nothing like the stories we read in the Bible. So there's a lot of stories that are similar. But we have to remember when these stories were written. And we have to remember the places they were written and the places that they're referred to. However, what stories are written now? Who's writing stories about their encounters with the Most High now? Why not now? Because to me, the Most High is omnipresent, correct? Which means that it's in every day. So because we don't have a Messiah, so to speak, or Jesus Christ walking on the earth, there's no encounters with the Most High. Why isn't there anyone else writing stories about the Most High? And if the stories were written at the time that they say they were written, I don't think there was anybody named John or Mark or Paul. So and I ask these questions, and I've asked pastors, so I'm not shy about it, you guys. And I'm not saying that I don't believe. I just believe that they are meant to be a starting point for you to find your truth and for you to find your relationship with your Most High or your supreme being or whoever you believe in. The Quran is so similar.
Yeah, it is.
To the Bible. It's scary.
Yeah.
So everybody says it's a knockoff, whatever. They just took our story, called it a different name. Why can't it just be what their encounters were with the Most High and what they decided to name their Most High at that time?
Absolutely.
The way that they talk about, Buddha. The one thing I can appreciate about the Buddhists is they believe that, like with us, Jesus Christ, with the Christians, Jesus Christ, came just at that time, just in the Bible. Never came back again. Nobody's seen Jesus anymore. Jesus is gone.
Yes.
With the Buddhists, I was watching, what is it called with Morgan Freeman? I think it's, oh my God, me and Brandon used to watch that show all the time.
It's a show with Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, yes, he does. He talks about religions. Yes.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking
So
about.
there was a form of like a Buddhist religion, but they had a young child that was born that once the child started speaking, was speaking things that a God would speak, so they said, was speaking life and healing people. And they've said that this happens, I guess they said like every 10 years or 12 years or something like that, a child will come along and be something special. So they believe that their God keeps coming back and showing them signs and healing them and being present with them all the time. However, for Christianity, because the Bible says Jesus only come back one time and he's not coming back until the world ends, we've just kind of discredited what we believe our Most High is capable of doing.
But my question with that is, why would he only come back at the end?
Like I said, if the Most High is omnipresent, it should be all the time,
That's
correct?
what I'm saying, yeah.
And so, like I said, these are where my questions come.
Yeah.
And then when I ask these questions, that's coming from the spirit of confusion. No, it's not.
Is there a spirit of confusion?
That's coming from me having questions about what you're telling me, because you're man. Just like I'm man. We're human.
Yeah.
You can be everybody can read a story. Let's just say, like Dr. Seuss, for example.
Yeah.
Somebody who's deep, let's just say somebody who's just real deep can read Green Eggs and Ham and turn it into something and make it be
there's
like,
a message.
there's a message in this book, and what really matters when he's talking about the green eggs. I mean, they can definitely break it down.
Absolutely.
Then there could be somebody like me. I read Green Eggs and Ham. It rhymes. It's a cute book. Dr. Seuss was dope with the rhymes.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get us to read.
I hear you.
So that's where I'm at with people. So
That's good.
Sorry,
I like
guys.
that. No, that was good. I liked it.
But I mean, that's what it is. What you read and what you see may not be what I read.
Everybody
and what
interprets
I see.
it
It may not be what.
differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I just feel like we need to give a little bit more credit to us, our supreme being, and stop putting the supreme being in a box.
Absolutely.
They shouldn't be put in a box, or it shouldn't be put in a box. And why I'm not saying a name or him or her, because I don't believe my Most High is man or woman.
Yeah.
There's no way Alexa or my husband Brandon could have created something like me. So I don't believe a person created me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So I don't say him. I don't say her. I don't. No. It's the Most High. Whoever
Which
created me
makes
is my
sense
creator.
now that you think about it, because
Yes.
a man and a woman have to come together to create a
person.
baby, right?
Exactly.
So, like, yeah, you're right.
A person.
Who would come up with just the first person?
Exactly. But if
By
we
themselves.
go back to biblical, there's supposed to be God,
Yes.
the supreme being. But we're here worshiping Jesus.
Yeah.
So I asked a question, and I posed this question to a friend of mine, and I just kind of wanted some clarity. If God is creator of all things, God is life, God is everything on this earth, every idea, every thought, every breath, just everything. Why are we not praying to God? Why are we praying to supposedly the Son of God? How do we know there wasn't a daughter of God that just didn't get her story written? How do we know there wasn't a child of God that didn't get their story written? So, and I don't know if you guys, I'm not trying to get too deep, but this is just where my mind goes.
I hear you. No,
this is just where my mind goes.
Sure.
So when I pose these questions to people, they automatically think that I'm trying to discredit their beliefs. I'm not. I am just not one person, and I believe that the Most High wouldn't have given me the mind that I have if I was wrong, or if I was, as they say, scheduling myself or writing my life for damnation, so to speak. Stuff like that drives me crazy, you guys. Just know that. Please, if you just don't like what I say, just delete me on Facebook. Don't listen to me. Just get rid of me.
Right.
But no, I'm always going to think outside of the box.
Absolutely.
As they would say, pray for me. But anyway, with you, Lex, like, have you ever, because I know you're so free, and I love how free you are. But I do know, just because I can feel your spirit, I know that you believe in a supreme being. I just don't think that you're like me. I don't think you put a label on it.
I don't put a label on it. I don't see a face when I think about it. I see it's like
more of a
the
presence.
Galaxy. I see like the twinkles. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a presence.
It's a presence.
It's a presence.
It's a feeling. And that's kind of the reason why I feel like free will was given, because we're supposed to ask these questions. We're supposed to try to find it. And I feel like being, like you said, put in a box or having these rules is just, it's not expanding your mind. Like, I feel like in religion, if you're going to hold yourself down to one religion, that's a big deal, to go your whole life and pray to something. That's a humongous thing. You know what I mean? It's like to sit here and say, I'm going to pray to this, and this is what I'm going to drive my beliefs through. That's a big deal. So
No, absolutely.
I need to know what I'm, where I'm going with that. And it's like, I just explore all. And for me, it's more of the feeling and knowing that there's this presence over me that's going to watch me. And as long as I'm being a good person and I'm meditating and I'm trying to find myself, it's like what they say, that there's God in you. As long as you explore that and you're doing what you need to do to keep yourself in one, you're always going to be connected. And so that's kind of what I believe. And that's what I try to do, not with Azalea right now because she's so little, but with Samay, for sure. She asks questions. She's already starting to say, Mom, what's church and the angels and God. And she's like starting to ask questions. And I'm like,
right.
Do you want to go to church? And she'll say, yeah, I want to go to church. And I'm like, all right, I'll find a church and I'll take you to church. So she can at least get that experience. I don't want to take that away from her just because I feel some type of way. You know what I mean? I'm her parent, and if she's asking me to show her something, I'm going to show her. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to take her, and if she likes it, cool. You know what I mean? That she's at an age now where she's kind of finding her little, likes and her dislikes, and we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, that's just kind of what I believe. Like, we're just going to let it flow. Whatever she feels is necessary in her life, then I'm supporting all the way.
And I'm all for that. I just don't, and I don't want you guys to think from this show that we are saying that religion is bad or that being a Christian is bad. It's just, I don't want you guys also to think that because we don't choose religion, that it's a bad thing. There's a lot of people in this world that are afraid to speak out on how they truly feel about their spiritual walk or their spiritual life because they feel that they will be judged.
Right.
or they will be seen as, like we mentioned, devil worshipers, or automatically you're a bad person because you don't believe in this good book. It's not even that they don't believe in it. So if you're telling me that the people that believe in this good book and this good book alone are you,
yeah,
and you're judging me already, why do I want to get to know this good book?
Exactly.
So we have to be
right.
careful. We have to be careful on how we approach people about what we may have found as our truth, because you can completely run someone away and make them decide that they no longer want to believe in anything. Because then you get, and for example, you get these people that something bad will happen in the world, and it'll be like, well, where's your God at now?
Yes.
Okay, so let me break this down for you. It's my favorite question, because I get this all the time. So the Most High didn't make this bad event happen. People did, because we are given the right to be able to choose right from wrong.
Free will.
We have, free will. We can choose whether we want to blow some shit up,
right,
or whether we want to kill someone, or whether, we want to cheat, or whether we want to, go steal something. And so it's not, if we were to say that, if you were to always question, well, where's your God now? Here, present, watching everything that is going on. So I just, my whole thing with you all is, honestly, I need you all to, just as a favor, just open your minds a little bit more.
Yeah.
Before you judge, do a little bit more studying. Also study yourself. Yeah. Once you get in tune with yourself, there's a little voice. It's real quiet, but it's there. It's absolutely there. And I promise you'll find your questions there. Your answers there before anywhere else, because the Most High is going to speak to you directly about your life.
That's right.
So you got to be concerned with your life and what your purpose here on this earth is supposed to be, because we know people die. We know people are born. And so obviously the source is coming from somewhere, right? I'm sorry. I just, I don't believe that we just appeared. I don't. That's one belief that I don't have. But that, I'm not knocking you if you do believe that. If so, I would like to listen to you, and I want to understand why you think this way. And then maybe we can discuss each other's ideas and have a better understanding on where we are now. I'm just open, if that makes sense. I'm open.
Yeah, me too.
I'm absolutely open.
I am a learner. I like to listen to people and tell me new things. You might even change one of my beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I'm open to receive. So I'm not stuck in one way. I'm not stuck in a box. I'm still trying to find it all myself. But that's what the questions are for. So yeah, post about it. We'll be posting right after this too, just to get the conversation started, because I want to know where people are heading. Like, and where are you? We're all at this age now where most of our viewers, our listeners, are pretty much around the same age as us. So we all have kids and family. So like, where are you leading your children to? Like, are they asking questions now? Are they at that age? Like, where are we heading with it is what I want to know.
And then I know that there are some people that have I don't want to say an issue, but there's a conversation that has to be had, because one parent believes in one thing, one parent believes in another, and then family gets involved if it's family tradition to be Christian or family tradition to be Catholic or whatever have you. It's almost like your child is forced.
Do you think people are scared to have that discussion when they start dating?
I think it's a conversation that's left alone.
I think you're right. I don't think it's made a topic anymore when you're trying to be compatible with somebody. I think religion is skipped a lot.
It is. And then you get into a situation, and then you want to practice your religion, and they want to practice their religion. And then now it comes to points where now you have this baby. Okay, well, what are we going to teach the baby?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it becomes an argument, and then it becomes disagreements, and it would have been avoided if you'd have had that conversation, and then maybe even just agree to let the child choose their path. And I don't know, you guys, y'all know me. I am, like I said, I always revert back. No matter how much I study, I will admit I always come back to the Bible, because that actually, it is, to me, it is the source for the most part of the most access we have to stories of where everything started.
Sure.
Do I believe in everything in there? I got some questions.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions. I even have a lot written down.
I got you.
And instead of going to man to get these questions answered, I just prayed that I give the answers that I'm supposed to have.
I was going to say, you can have
because it may not be
questions.
for me to have all answers.
Right. Exactly right. And you can have those questions, put them out into the universe. And I think if God wants to show you those answers, they will
absolutely
come to you.
Absolutely.
So
I want you guys to always be good people.
That's it.
Don't force religion on anybody.
Don't force it on yourself even.
There is a lot of criticism about people like me and Lex who decide to be spiritual and want to research and want to study and want to know more. You guys, stop condemning us. Stop making us out to be these horrible people, because we're not. We're actually some really great people because we judge less.
Yes.
And so right. I have associates that are Christian. I have associates that are Catholic. I have associates that are atheists. I have associates that believe in the Big Bang Theory. I don't have any friends that are devil worshipers. However, if that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. I don't want, I don't know. It's hard to put into words. It's just, I don't want anyone to feel that they have to be something in order to be a good person.
Exactly right.
Or if I'm not this, I'm not going to be a good person, or I'm not going to be seen as a good person. We got to get out of that.
Yeah.
We absolutely have to get out of that, because we are in a time to where there's so many other things going on, and there's so many fights over religion matters.
It always comes back down to religion after everything I see on the news.
Yes. And just because in religion to me it's a title. Mm-hmm. It's like being a doctor.
Sure.
Or being a librarian or whatever, a veterinarian or whoever you are. It's a title. I'm Christian or I'm Catholic. Mm-hmm. I understand that that's your title, but how are you? What's your heart like? What are you inside?
Yes.
What's your core? What is your core?
People get wrapped up too much in the title. In the title and in the in coming together and congregating. People tell me all the time, like, why don't you go to church? As early as last month, asking me, why don't you go to church? I don't feel like I need to go to church. And then that always turns into this big old conversation. Like, they look at me, screw face is the craziest thing. And I'm like, well, I feel like I can learn what I need to learn on my own. You know what I mean? And then they ask me, why do you say that? Like, because I feel like church is like school in a way. I feel like you go there to get together with people to learn about the Bible and learn about the religion. If I can do that on my own, what is the big deal?
And not even on your own. You go to church and you don't even know it. We have conversations.
This is true.
About religion. I'm sure that you and Tony have conversations.
We do.
About, religion, spirituality, whatever.
Yes.
And you all acknowledge it at one time.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's a collective gathering of people. Mm-hmm. That's a church. Mm-hmm. So people put too much emphasis on the church business.
I think you're right about that.
So I'm trying to be nice with my words. I'm going to just say this. Okay. Just don't judge someone else's journey.
Okay. I like that.
Focus on your journey.
Yeah.
Because what's for you is for you.
Why are people
what is
so
for me
up?
Is not for you.
Right.
What's for Lex is not for you.
Yeah.
What's for Lex is for Lex, because at the end of the day, she came into the world as one person.
Yeah.
She's going to leave the world as one person. Mm-hmm. Me and you are not going to leave when Lex leaves.
Yeah.
We don't know. No one really knows what happens when we leave. Honestly, no one knows. No one can come to me and say, Whitney, this is what's going to happen. You're going to descend into this. And no one can tell me. You can't. Yeah. You absolutely can't.
You're gone.
I just have to pray and trust the process. I have to trust my journey. So really, if I can leave you with anything, trust your own journey. And worry about your own journey. And if your journey is right, stop judging other people's journey. Now, if you actually are genuinely concerned, or if you genuinely have questions, approach it in love. Mm-hmm. Don't be so, this is right and you're absolutely wrong. And let me show you this. And stop doing that, guys.
The judgy.
Absolutely stop doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to me, just by studying, Bob Marley was an amazing man.
Yes.
And I'm just reverting back to him because he says a lot of things that are, they just kind of hit home. And he was very spiritual.
Yes.
To me, he was put on this earth for healing. He gave people a lot of healing through his music and through certain things he would speak of. And he had a whole peaceful movement. And I guess he was, if we were to put a title on what he was a Rasta. He was Rastafarian. And so they have their own, belief system or however. It goes really deep. However, he was accepting of all religions and all people.
Simple. That it made so much sense. That's
Absolutely.
What I
he
loved.
kept it simple.
Yes, he did.
He kept it about love.
Yep.
And
Always.
peace.
Yep. If you drive anything with those two components, you will be successful.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah.
And I think the world needs a little bit more love anyway.
We just need peace.
and it probably will never come, but I really hope that you all receive this show well, because
I hope so too.
We were kind of hesitant on doing it because normally when you're in a business like podcasting or even with everything that I'm doing, you never really want to quite touch on religion or spirituality. But I just feel that it needs to be addressed because I want you guys to know who we are. And I want you all to know that when we say we're judgment free, we mean that.
Right.
We are all about love, all about positivity, and all about you accepting who you are. And as long as you're okay with who you are, we're okay with who you are.
This is a big component in a lot of people's lives, which is the reason why I wanted to talk about it too, because it can't be ignored. Religion is everywhere. So definitely wanted to have that conversation. And if we're going to pick a platform to do it on, why not do it here? So, especially with the women that are listening and, you kind of sometimes find yourself alone. Talk to us about it. We're here.
And we're truly judgment free.
Absolutely.
Like, for real. And if you come to us and let's just say you are Christian is your thing, or you are Catholic, that's okay too.
Yeah. We
don't have to dive into religion. Like, this is probably going to be the only time we even discuss this. It was just, something that was put on Lex's heart. And I said, okay, let's go ahead and address it. So hopefully it was received well.
I hope so.
And hopefully it opened your minds a little bit. And if you have any questions on why we think what we think, or if you have anything to add, if you can do it out of love, absolutely, we are open to it. If you come in an aggressive way, we are aggressive too. But we're hoping everything can be received in love, and we can definitely all grow and learn from each other, because like we mentioned a few times, we're still learning. We're at a learning phase, both of us.
Yeah.
And that's only because we don't agree with putting anything in a box. We're out of the box thinkers. We're out of the box people.
Lots of questions.
And so if you see someone who likes to meditate with stones and sage and does chakras, you guys, let me tell you something. A lot of those people believe in God too.
Yeah, they do.
They just believe that God is in everything.
And that it's those tools, I like to call them tools. It's just another force to bring them to that place.
Absolutely. So because they believe that stones can bring healing, that meditation can bring healing, or that Reiki healing actually works.
Yeah.
That doesn't discredit their beliefs.
Absolutely.
They just have a little bit more of a stronger belief because they truly believe that God is in everything.
And listen, if stones is what brings that brings them to that, how is that so bad?
It's really not.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to get mad over stones. Like, that to me sounds crazy. But I'm not going to judge.
Yeah, judgment free.
Judgment free.
But I just need you all to be judgment free as well.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you all.
Yeah.
We definitely hope that you get something from this. Let's open a conversation. Like, I'm actually going to open it once the show hits and you all listen to it. We're going to open a conversation, have a platform discussion.
Yeah.
And we just want to know what you believe in and what brought you to that point. And you may have something, a gift that you need to share with me and Lex that'll help us on our journey.
Absolutely.
And we may have given you something that'll help you on your journey. And that's really what this is about. Yeah. So don't write us off, people. Know that we are amazing beings, as you all are, no matter what your belief is, no matter what your religion is.
Yes.
And that's what this show is all about.
Right.
But until next time, we appreciate you. It's your girl, Truth.
Lex Love.
Bye, y'all.